Hi everyone. So for today's Psalm 36, I wanted to give just a little bit of a backstory as to why the passage is so important to me and just means so much to me. Um, in June of 2022, I was headed to court to face my abusive ex-husband. Not quite ex-husband at that time, quite yet, but we were in the middle of a divorce. I had fled from him with my children in January of 2022. I had begged for him to leave the house that I left from and that he refused to leave. It was a house that my father left me in my will, but he knew that without a court order that he could just stay there as long as he wanted to, and so he did that, leaving me and my children homeless for 6 months. And this was the day that I was going to hopefully get my house back. More importantly, get custody of my children. Um, and I was just so incredibly nervous. He had started out a few months prior lying his pants off to the court um, about various things, as toxic people tend to do. And I was scared. I was scared that the court was going to believe his words, grant him my house. And the most scariest thing was I thought that they were going to allow him to see the children that he damaged so deeply with zero change. So I wake up that morning, and the song By Third Day, Your Love, O Lord, was blasting in my head. It was like somebody had turned a radio on. So I woke up just hearing that in my head. I immediately went to Pandora and searched up the song. I hadn't heard it in years. It was absolutely God giving me that song that morning. In the way, on the way into town, um, we had this thing at my kid's school before we went to court, and so there was a couple hours in between um, the school thing and court where I had some time to spend, and I listened to that song over and over again, and God continued to show me his goodness just all around me. Just things were just popping out. We went to a park that was by their school, and just even the weeds looked gorgeous. They were very colorful. They were, pink and purple and yellow, and they were just sticking out to me like they had never been before. Um, and then after leaving the park on the way to court, I saw this deer run across the road, and I looked, and she had a baby behind her. I stopped for them to cross, and I had just never really witnessed anything like that before, and I was just blown away by God's creation and everything that he was allowing me to see. I just I could just feel it in my soul. It was all God. Just sending me comfort, sending me peace, showing me his goodness, to show me that he's got me. I went into court and got full custody of my children. I got my house back. He was ordered out. They still allowed him to be in there for a month, which, it is what it is. And so we ended up being homeless for 6 months, but I did get my house back for me and my children to live in there. I had asked for my ex-husband to require a hair follicle drug test before he would be able to see the children ever again. And anybody who has ever dealt with family court, I'm sure, can feel exactly what I'm going to say. The judge did not agree with that. The judge said that his kids needed him right now, and she allowed him to have immediate visits. I remember being so furious. So furious. I had spent 10 years, my daughter was 10 years old, my oldest. I'd spent 10 years trying to do everything in my power for them to have a good relationship and for him to be a father. And I had, at that point, finally realized that he just was not willing to do that. That was not his desire. There was nothing in him that wanted to be a father. And that was a hard pill to swallow. But I'd finally came to that realization. He had threatened to end my life. About a year before that. And God just really allowed a lot of things to happen like that for me to actually open my eyes and realize that this is not a good person. So for that judge to sit up there and say, your kids need him, was just such a slap in the face. I can't even tell you how frustrated I was. But God worked out that too. Like he works out everything for good. That judge awarding him visits, he actually never set up one visit. And in December, when we had our divorce trial, that judge looked at him, being awarded visitation in June and never even trying to set up anything as abandonment. And so then at that point, I was able to plead with that judge to give him, to have him have to do something, have to show change before he saw the children. And she did. And he has not, fulfilled any of those court orders, and he has not seen them since. And although for 10 years I really just wanted them to have a relationship, I now understand that he is not good for them, and that having no relationship is much better than him being there continuing to damage them. So, I just want to encourage you that God is so good. He gives you everything that you need all the time, always. Just please lean on him and just trust him with your whole heart, because not only does he love you more than you could ever fathom, but he has your very best interest in mind. And even if you're going through something and you can't understand it and it does not seem like he has your best interest, he does, and you just have to trust him. And it took me so long to come to that realization, but I just want to encourage you that that is the best place to be in. And now that I'm in that place, I am so grateful, beyond words grateful. And I just pray for all of you that you can get there too, because it is the best place to be. Psalm 36, an oracle within my heart concerning the transgression of the wicked. There is no fear of God before his eyes, for he flatters himself in his own eyes. When he finds out his iniquity, and when he hates, the words of his mouth are wickedness and deceit. He has ceased to be wise and to do good. He devises wickedness on his bed. He sets himself in a way that is not good. He does not abhor evil. Your mercy, O Lord, is in the heavens. Your faithfulness reaches to the clouds. Your righteousness is like the great mountains. Your judgments are a great deep. O Lord, you preserve man and beast. How precious is your loving kindness, O God. Therefore the children of men put their trust under the shadow of your wings. They are abundantly satisfied with the fullness of your house, and you give them drink from the river of your pleasures. For with you is the fountain of life. In your light we see light. O continue your loving kindness to those who know you, and your righteousness to the upright in heart. Let not the foot of pride come against me, and let not the hand of the wicked drive me away. There the workers of iniquity have fallen. They have been cast down and are not able to rise.